back to downtown Las Vegas to get an update on a big announcement that the Nevada Department of Transportation announced last week. The partial closure of numerous little streets that run under US 95, ranging from 7th Street, right where I'm standing, all the way to 21st Street to the east. The idea is to get public feedback on the possibility of permanently closing down all these little streets to eventually get rid of this giant viaduct for a widening project.
We've sent 9,000 postcards to the immediate residents around the freeway to make them aware of this closure, the proposed permanent closure, and also this awareness campaign so that they will go to the website, fill out a survey.
The unprecedented public outreach from the Nevada Department of Transportation is not by accident. If we go back in time, you may remember back in September 2008 when NDOT closed F Street permanently under I-15 for a widening project just north of the Spaghetti Bowl. Once closed, public outcry and political leaders forced NDOT to spend over $13 million to reopen F Street in late 2014.
You know, regarding F Street, there was definitely lessons learned, and we've worked with the City of Las Vegas and NDOT to make sure that we get the community feedback up front when we need to make the design decisions that will be the result of the project.
So far, the public outreach is working. Now, according to NDOT, they've received over 200 responses in the 11 days since the partial closure of 8 downtown streets began. Of course, the Cone Zone was curious if the feedback is pro-closure or anti-street closure.
And so far, the feedback has been on both sides of the spectrum. We've had people say, why are you closing these streets? And we've also had people say, we're glad you're closing the streets. And so that's really on both ends of the spectrum so far.
No matter what design NDOT ultimately decides on, one thing is for sure. The aging viaduct structure will be torn down for the future widening of US 95.
The 1.6-mile viaduct is getting old. The first one was built in 1968, and then the second one was built in 1980, and combined they make that 1.6-mile viaduct. And so bridges have a life.
With the viaduct bridge eventually going away, does that mean the famous US 95 Las Vegas bounce will also go away?
Everybody that drives the I-515 freeway right here understands the whoops that exist. And so, yes, that Las Vegas bounce will go away.
Which means in the next 10 years, our free bouncing roller coaster along US 95 will finally go away. I'm Ken Smith, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.